Hello world, this is Random Fix. In this video today, we're going to be looking at a 2013 Nissan Altima, which has an issue. It's getting a check engine light for a P101, which I'll show you guys. However, this is not really just pertain to this vehicle or this code. So in this video today, I'm making this to share with you guys a possible fix. And on top of that, something you should do going forward if you work on your own vehicles. And if you're a mechanic or a technician and you're struggling with this code, you definitely want to check this video out. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So we got a 2013 Nissan Altima here, and this vehicle sets a code which is going to be a P101 code for the mass airflow sensor. And this has already been to a bunch of mechanics that are really decent mechanics, and they've gone ahead and replaced out some components. However, in this video today, I'm going to go put the original part back in and show you guys that it fixed the issue, because what I'm about to share with you guys is really going to go ahead and open up your eyes on something you should do every single time before you go and troubleshoot any vehicles. So let me hop behind my computer and share with you guys what this information is. So the first thing I like to do before I go and loosen anything on a vehicle or spend any money, I go ahead and hook it up to an OBD2 reader. If you have a scan tool that can pull up the Nissan side of the code, that's even better. We're just going to pretend that we just have a generic $20 tool, and that's what we're working with. So I'm going to type in the make, the model, the trouble code, and type in TSB. And on Google, you're going to have to go through page 1, 2, and 3 to go and find your issue. And one of the websites that I actually like to use is carcomplaints.com. As you can get a better idea that yes, there is something wrong with this vehicle. You're not the only one that's dealing with it. And on this 2013 Nissan Altima, we're going to go ahead and just look this up really quick. You can see the 2013 has a whole bunch of issues here. And if we look up right here, this has 516 TSBs. So this is a great database for technical service bulletins when you are looking for them. And you could also try looking on forums, and they might point you in the right direction. And this is the actual technical service bulletin that I found that related to my vehicle here. And basically let me know that if my PCV valve was orange, that I need to replace it. And this really guided me in finding the right solution for this vehicle. And it was not very expensive. So this is a very easy thing you can do anytime you're going to go and fix a vehicle. Again, carcomplaints.com is going to be an amazing resource here, and you can try using Control F, and you can try looking for your issue a little faster by typing in the code. So look what we actually achieved in just those few minutes of doing a search before we actually touched the car. We know that this problem is there, it's inherent, and does not just pertain to my vehicle. It affects a whole series of vehicles. I'm able to go ahead and get free information that's related to fixing this issue. It gives you specific directions on what you need to look for. It gives you alternatives, some guidelines on what you want to check for, and some very important information that can throw you off if you don't pay attention. And if you have the software, it also helps you going through the different procedures. And a lot of this information is there to help the shops. However, even as a consumer, you can definitely take advantage of this and save yourself a whole bunch of time and headache and not put yourself in a tailspin. If you guys are finding this information to be valuable, make sure you guys go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. And if you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as it really lets YouTube know that I'm bringing you guys valuable content, and I really appreciate it. So let's go back to the repair now. Hey everybody, I hope you found the information on looking up the TSB before you go and proceed with any repairs helpful. So now let me go ahead and cover this particular code, which is going to be the 101 code on this Nissan Altima. So this is a pending code. If I drive it more, it will go ahead and set, and this can keep you from passing a smog, and it's just really annoying. And now let's go get this fixed, and then I'm going to go and keep you guys updated as far as the progress. Currently the vehicle has 94,435 on the odometer, so I'll go ahead and give you guys an update after about 500 miles to make sure that it was actually the issue, and not waste your time or money and send everybody on a wild goose chase. So this code is defined as mass or volume airflow, a circuit range or performance. So a lot of times most mechanics and technicians will go and replace that particular component right there. This is the mass airflow sensor here on this Nissan Altima. And most of the times you're going to find this particular component right after the air filter. So the air comes in, it gets filtered, and then it'll go through the mass airflow sensor. This measures how much air is going through here, and then the computer can make better decisions on how much gas to go ahead and apply to the injectors. This particular component has already been replaced, as I said, by a very good mechanic. I personally know the guy, and here it is. So this is going to be the replacement that they put in, and they put in 2 of these because they thought the first one was bad. Here's the original one that it came with. So in this video today, I'm going to show you guys it wasn't the mass airflow sensor, and I'm going to go and put in the old one. You do want to go ahead and clean it with the CRC mass airflow sensor cleaner, and it's really easy to do. Just go ahead and put the tip on the spray bottle. And now just let it dry. Do not use brake cleaner, throttle body cleaner, or anything else, as it will leave a film on the element here, and you'll have all kinds of issues. And speaking of mass airflow sensors, guys, you can go and buy these for 20 to 30 bucks on eBay, but please don't make that mistake. They will work for a few days, maybe a few weeks. However, they soon burn out, as the components in there are much inferior, and they normally put little tiny resistors in. So always go with a great quality replacement, or go with the original OEM part, as you do not want to go ahead and spend thousands of dollars in diagnostic fees just to find out you had a really crappy mass airflow sensor. This is a really important component, and it's going to put you in a tailspin of repairs if you do not have the right part in here. So this is going to go ahead and dry out now. I'm going to leave this out for about 10 minutes, and it's alcohol based, so it'll just evaporate. You don't really need to do anything else with it. And while that's drying, I've gone ahead and already loosened up the mass airflow sensor screws here. And on this Altima right here, they're just going to be Phillips. You just need a stubby screwdriver. You want to push at the top of the clip. This top connector is going to come off. Remove this out of here. I'm going to put this back on top of the box. This was the brand that they used. Obviously, the issue didn't get fixed. And the mass airflow sensor is actually drying. So let's talk about the fix. So on this particular Altima, what we did is we looked up the TSB for it, and it gave us some possible fixes, right? One of them was going to be to check the wiring harness to make sure we have a good connection and nothing is actually broken. So you can grab yourself a multimeter like this and set it to continuity. So anytime it makes a good connection, it'll go ahead and beep. Second thing you can do is check the voltage range, and that information is out there. You can go ahead and find it. And you're going to check the connections between here and the computer. And your computer might be bad. So whenever I'm doing a repair, I like to go ahead and take the simplest approach to it, as there's really no reason for this computer to go ahead and be bad, and it might need to get programmed. And I'm hoping that's not the case here, and that we really do have a simple solution here. So in this case, we're going to go and take a look at underneath this engine cover right here. And just like I showed you guys earlier on the TSB, this is going to be the PCV valve. I've already gone ahead and loosened it up a little bit. It just required removing the hose clamps right here. And then I took a little screwdriver and moved it around a little bit, so I broke the hose free, and then I was able to wiggle it out. Do not just go ahead and pull on this, as it will turn into one of those Chinese finger games where the more you pull on it, the more it sticks, and the more likely it's gonna stick, and you're gonna basically end up needing a new hose. And you do not want to damage this, as this will go ahead and drive you crazier, as you're going to keep getting other check engine lights related to other codes, and you're not going to be able to figure it out. So do not damage this. We're going to pull this out now, and this particular one is orange. So as we saw on the TSB, if it has an orange PVC like this, you want to go ahead and replace it. And I know I told you guys in the beginning of the video that this really has not a lot to do with this particular code, as this applies to all issues going forward. These vehicles have become so complicated, and the dealers are really finding ways of sticking it to us. So you can call them and get a mass airflow sensor for this car, and they will happily sell it to you. The technician or the parts department may not tell you, hey, you know what, you're replacing the mass airflow sensor, and a lot of people replace this, but it may be really your PCV valve. They don't know that. So do yourself a favor going forward. Anytime you get any sort of check engine light, grab the code, put it in Google, put your make and model in there, and then put TSB, Technical Service Bulletin, as you're going to go ahead and save yourself a lot of time. As I said, there have been 2 mass airflow sensors already installed in that, and they were at about $150 a piece. So $300 in wasted parts, wasted hours of labor. In all, this repair bill could have been about $700-800, and the issue is still not fixed. This is what I highly recommend. Go down to the dealer and get yourself the OEM part. And this is just a simple PCV valve, but it's very important. And this is not the only component that you should get from the dealer. So earlier today, I went and got the original radiator cap, right? And so when I was talking to the parts guy, he was actually a really nice guy, and I've gone and seen him a few times about this car, because this car has a few issues that I'm actually fixing. He also told me that if you grab a fuel cap from just a parts store, it will not work, and it will not seal, and you're gonna go ahead and drive yourself crazy if you're trying to chase down an evap issue. I went ahead and bought myself a replacement cap from an auto parts store a few weeks ago, and every single time I opened up the hood, it was basically not creating a good seal. And that's why I went and got the OEM radiator cap, because I'm driving this car over to Texas, and I do not want to break down in the middle of nowhere and be stranded. So I'm going to go and do some preventive maintenance on this vehicle. So let's get back to the repair. So as a final recap, before I go and install this, always do your homework ahead of time. Don't go paying for parts unless you've gone and checked on similar issues with the vehicle. And let's go ahead and move on with the repair. So if you're putting the PCV valve in on this Altima, maybe you have a different vehicle. A lot of the components on newer vehicles are actually made out of plastic. So you want to make sure that you do not over tighten these, as you will crack them, and you're going to be very, very upset. And you want to go ahead and hand tighten these. And once you get them hand tightened, you want to go ahead and give it a quarter of a turn, and then it's seated. And I'm going to go and put the hose back on. So here's the original mass airflow sensor that it came with from the dealer. I went ahead and cleaned it, and it's going to go and be reinstalled. You want to make sure you got it in the right configuration. Really quick, I was putting this back in the box, and guess what I found in here? This is such a big problem that even Hitachi included it in their packaging, because they probably have so many returns from people over and over, the same issue. As this is just going to become more commonplace, where manufacturers go ahead and release cars that are not really fully finished, and they're just going to go and throw some of their spare parts at it. So again, sad to see a lot of money like this wasted. Now let's go ahead and delete that code, and then I'll do a drive cycle and give you guys a 500-mile update as well. So now we have no codes. So this was not a permanent diagnostic code. And if you guys are watching this video to go ahead and smog your vehicle, check in the description box down below. I'll have a drive cycle for each make, and including information on pending diagnostic codes, or PDTCs. So after driving the vehicle hundreds of miles, I can happily say that the issue has been resolved. We can see that there is going to be no pending codes here, and all the drive monitors are ready. The car is running great. So next time you guys get a check engine light on, instead of relying on the generic OBD2 code, you want to go ahead and go on Google, type in the make, model, type in the code, and also type in TSB to make sure there's not a technical service bulletin before you go and spend your hard-earned money on a part or a repair that's probably not going to fix it. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know down below. I appreciate you guys. Make it a great day. Check out the whole playlist that I leave you guys right here, as it'll help you guys better troubleshoot some of your vehicle stuff. And I'll leave links in the video description box down below with anything else that can help you out, including this little $30 OBD2 reader. Have a great day. Thanks.